My group covered the Balkans and the Middle East. The countries we will review today will be Greece and Romania in the Balkans, and Egypt, Israel, and Iraq in the Middle East. To kick things off, we'll learn a little bit about Greece. Greece is a country that is found at the very tip of the Balkan Peninsula that is about 51,000 square miles, which includes the mainland Greece and the 6,000 outstanding islands, which you can kind of see on the map displayed. 227 of those 6,000 islands are inhabited by civilians today, while the other ones just remain standstill. Also surrounding Greece are three different seas: the Ionian Sea, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Aegean Sea. And in a clockwise manner from Greece, countries also surround it in the following order. Here are a couple different sceneries in which you can expect when traveling in Greece. Because there are no major valleys in Greece, but more like the plateaus in which you see here, farms are left particularly small. Their main crop is wheat. However, they do grow other crops such as corn, cotton, figs, olives, oranges, peaches, potatoes, sugar beets, tomatoes, and tobacco. Grapes are also pretty popular here, which leads us to the fact that Greece is also the leading producer of olive oil and raisins. The flag of Greece is pretty unique. It consists of 9 horizontal blue and white stripes with a cross in the upper left corner. The cross in the left corner symbolizes Greek Orthodoxy, the established Greek religion, in which we will establish on later. The 9 stripes stand for the 9 syllables of the Greek patriots' motto, which translates to freedom or death. Their Independence Day is on March 25th. The population in Greece as of June 24th of this year stood at almost 11 million people. This number is still pretty significant given the birth rate and the death rate in which we have displayed here. Even the life expectancy for males and females throughout Greece is at a pretty good standstill. The language in which you will find that most of the people speak here is Greek, but there is a slight chance you can find people who speak English and a few who may speak French. The economy in Greece has been kind of on a tilt lately. As you can see, the GDP is only about almost $27,000 as of last year. However, it is important to keep in context that they have also sought 3 different bailouts, one in April 2010, one in October 2011, and August of 2015. When also looking at their GDP, it is interesting to see that tourism actually makes up 18% of that 27,000. The economy in Greece is considered capitalist, and because of their financial instability right now, it is particularly common to see it. The government in Greece is a parliamentary republic, which is guided by the democratic constitution, which holds many of the same aspects that you see here in the States. Greece holds 2 different positions. One is the president, which is a head of state and is elected every 5 years. The guy pictured here is the current office holder, Prokopis Pavlopoulos. The other position is prime minister, or the head of the government. This position, and whoever holds this position, has a little more pull and say over the president. The one that currently holds office is Alex Tsipras, which is pictured in the upper left. Some other facts about Greece's government can be found at this website. If you get a moment, please take time to watch this video. Obama briefly speaks about Greece capitalism and its economy, but he brings up many solid points on why their economy needs a close look at and more monitoring. The Greek Orthodox Church has the prevailing faith here in Greece, with the Christian Orthodox holding the majority of the Greek population. How, however, it is important to realize that not all citizens of Greece are Christian Orthodox. Actually, 1.3% are claimed as Muslims, while the remaining 0.7% claim themselves as Catholics, Jewish, Jehovah's Witnesses, and other sects of religion. As seen in the States, Greece also holds the fact that religion and state are kept separate. At the end here, there is a quote in which I found on a source talking about how the Greek religion not only supports a god, but it also supports the Olympian gods. Because the Olympian gods are such an important aspect of the Greek religion, I thought I'd show a few that are here. There are many gods in the Greek religion, but the Olympian gods are the most popular and the most focused upon. Some of these we even know, such as Aphrodite, Hades, which we see in the Disney film Hercules, Hermione's, Poseidon, Zeus, maybe a couple others. Greek art is one of its own also. Pottery is the most utilitarian, and its terracotta or ceramic figurines, as pictured here, are the most popular and are usually offered as gifts to gods and goddesses. They are buried with the deceased and sometimes also given to children as toys. However, ceramic figurines are not the only kind of art. They also make pots or vases, as pictured here. Many times these will be painted with religious or mythological scenes. Most of the Greek knowledge that people know today in the US come from what we find of these vases. A lot of times we try to interpret what these different scenes that are painted on these vases may actually mean. Even with the Greek health, it is a bit surprising. HIV and AIDS is actually rising, and 16,200 people as of last year were living with it, and approximately 300 related deaths have been recorded every year due to related diseases. Obesity has, in the adult prevalence rate, is also at an astonishing 25.1% as of 2014. This fact really threw us due to the fact that Greece has one of the most natural healthy diets. Their diet normally consists of fish and seafood, which can include things such as octopus, calamari, and other mussel dishes. Their modern cuisines vary little today from those of ancient Greece. The Greek diet is considered one of the healthiest cultural diets, which throws us to think that obesity is actually a problem in Greece. Many times, the cultural diet of Greece consists of things such as olive oil, garlic, fresh herbs, wine, fish, lamb, and so forth. It it is known to also have what we call slow carbs, lots of healthy proteins, and eating healthy fats. The food of Greece is also celebrated. The wealthy have extravagant dinner parties with things such as fresh seafood, olives, herbs, breads, wines, and lots of music and dancing. Sometimes there would be a series of appetizers or meses that would precede the main course, or there might be so many of them that they serve as the whole meal. These appetizers are usually served with ouzo, a licorice tasting or traditional wine. Olive oil is also the center of all entrees, which makes sense being they're the leading producer of it. It has also become a staple ingredient in many cooking cuisines. But it is also used for medical qualities, religious celebrations, and has even been given as a prize in the Olympic Games. Wine has also become a staple in the Greek cuisine, as which it is usually served with every meal. Greek is found more in the American style than what we really realize. According to the 1990 census, approximately a little over 1 million people have actually claimed to have a Greek ancestor, either later in their family line or pretty recent in their family line. Greek American restaurants have also been on the flourish throughout the United States. A lot of this is seen particularly through the food. Here are just some of the foods in which are pretty popular in Greek American restaurants, with gyros being one of the most popular and can be easily found in the American Arby's. Traditional Greek cuisine usually consists of about 5 different times in which people would eat, starting with breakfast, which they usually kept very small and simple with teas and breads. Coffee was more of a luxurious beverage, so that was either consumed alone or with bread. Then they would have a mid-morning snack, which we today think more of as our lunch, which they would have either cheese pie or spinach pie. They would then have lunch, which was their most hearty meal, which would consist of a vegetable stew or casserole with cheese, bread, salad, and of course, wine. They would then have an afternoon coffee after taking their afternoon nap, which was then also served with a pastry or a cookie. Dinner was then kept light with either yogurt and fruit, a sandwich, a salad, or leftovers from lunch. However, we have begun to westernize this Greek cuisine. For breakfast, we now more see cereal with milk, bread or toast with jam or honey, yogurt with honey, or coffee with a bagel, a croissant, or the traditional cheese pie or spinach pie. We then have our mid-morning snack, which we now look at as lunch, which typically it's some kind of sandwich, most popular being ham and cheese. However, lunch is usually kept more of a hearty meal still with a pasta grilled meat or vegetable stew or casserole or the traditional sandwich. We then will move on to the afternoon coffee still sometimes, but the naps are usually skipped and we just keep the coffee with the pastry or the cookie. We then move on to dinner, which is still kept semi-light. Most popular dinner cuisines are pizza, hamburgers. Chinese takeout is on the rise of popularity also. Now, we will take some time to talk about Romania.